Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Day 4 with the man Frank Scalish. I've been trying to up that the last couple shows I just threw out on iTunes. I have to render, I have to do a edit, render them and stuff to throw them out, and I have to listen to the first 10 seconds. I realize I haven't sounded as excited as I should introing the show, but then I also don't want to spike the volume, so I've kind of gone like NPR radio voice.
Oh, I'm tracking.
Yeah, so I've been good morning and welcome to, but
Today,
I think it hits a little bit harder. Also an ode to Jeffries, who always came in like a bull in a china shop.
Oh, yeah, he came in loud and on fire, dude.
Yeah, there's never a low-key intro with that on BTL, so we're kind of continuing that trend. But I am very excited about today's show. In today's day and age, you don't use a home printer very often. Like, when was the last time you used a home printer, Frank Scalish?
My problem is almost every day.
Oh, really? You do? You're a paper. You still have a paper trail.
I have a paper trail, but the reason being is because when I do a design or something and I scan an illustration in, I'll scan the illustration in with no notes on it, and then when I'm trying to figure out a paint formula, I'm scribbling and writing notes, and I chuck one aside if I don't like where it's going, and I do another one. So rather than draw 20 pictures of a lure, I draw one with nothing on it, print it out, and then make all my notes.
Touche. But anyway,
hey, Drunkwood. Structural element.
I just put you saw what we did to the front yard that I've talked about.
Yeah, look good.
An absurd amount on BTL. I repositioned Drunkwood, had a house number sign made where he cut the shape of a bass out of one of the old bourbon barrels and then had the house number put in on it. So I repositioned that, and then I had to get the concrete drill bit, the cement drill bit, and then drill through not where the brick is, but that, and then put the little spacer, the thing in there so then it would work, and then drill another hole through the piece of wood and then put it up. But I put it right next to the American flag.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Drunkwood,
perfect.
if you guys are looking for some unique, one of a kind out of Kentucky bourbon barrel stuff and really cool one-off gift ideas as we get closer to the holiday season.
Yeah, they're mint.
Check them out.
Stuff is mint, man.
Yeah,
looks good.
Yeah. Don't ask for discounts. Don't return it, and know what you're getting, or else he will call you out on social media.
Yeah. I have seen that.
Cracks me up. Anyway, back to the printing. Over the last month, we have been running a contest for Trailer Watchdog, which is a new sponsor of Day 4. It is a system that you can attach to your axles, your tires, your wheels. It tells you temperature, tire pressure, tire temperature to where you can identify potential issues when they get out of whack. It goes to an app on your phone. It's a new thing. You've got almost 2,000 miles on your trailer on it. We've talked about it a lot. But one of the contests that we ran was if you've had a trailer nightmare story, which I think a lot of us have.
We have.
Frank. A lot of us have.
Anybody who spends any kind of time trailering will go through something, whether you believe it or not. You are gonna go through something.
Yes, we have over 50 submissions over the last month, and this is the gigantic stack of papers. Everything from, and I've sent this to you, and we've been having some pretty good chuckles over it. Everything from 3 pages of single, that's like a college paper read right there. That's number 10 Times New Roman, single spaced, only one space after each period, to very elaborate. Where is that one right there? Very elaborate. We had guys that actually put tires with diagrams in and talked really good stuff.
Yeah, you guys went through some stuff, man.
Yes. So the only thing that I dislike about this is we had to pick a winner, and there were about 30 winners, to be honest.
Yeah, it was so difficult because the stories are so good.
So what we did was we kind of narrowed it down to what we considered our top 5, and then one emerged based on the story, based on the writing, based on how it went. Second half of the show, we'll have Alex from Trailer Watchdog on, and we will announce the winner. I have it right here. It's actually a 3-pager, and
which we will read.
It's actually a 4-pager, 3.5, but there's a lot of double spacing there. Like, he would definitely get points taken off for a college essay paper because weren't allowed to double space like that. That's how if it had to be 5 pages, you could turn a 2-pager into a 5.
Right. I would triple space.
But what I wanted to do was keep this stack because there was a lot of time and effort, and you could tell these are not AI generated. Like, these are all awesome stories from guys who have been through it.
Right.
And we are day 4, sponsored by LURENET and Pradco. So we're going to take this story, and then as we have gift cards
contests,
and other contests for the upcoming year, this is going to stay in the studio, and we are going to pull some of the other good stories out of here for the $50 gift card. So even if you are not selected as the winner of the Trailer Watchdog story,
you could still win stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
that makes me feel better because there were about 4 that I wanted. There were like 4 or 5 that we both really wanted.
And we just could. I mean, it was just these were great. They're all great, and so it was really difficult decision.
CPP is what we based it on. Chuckles per paragraph.
Yeah, or gut-wrenching heartbeats that I've experienced many times trailering.
Appreciate you guys jumping on. The Bassmaster Elite Series going on over on Lake Champlain. No live scope right now. First morning. I have never it is the first time in history that guys have bitched and moaned about Lake Champlain. I promise you. I've never seen so many guys be like, "Oh, it's the toughest I've ever seen it. The water's low. We may not catch a fish." Come on.
It's Lake Champlain, guys.
Yeah.
Get back to basics. You'll catch them.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see whether that's largemouth or smallmouth. Alex from Trailer Watchdog is going to come on for that giveaway, and then we're going to close the show out. This is like a DIY help show.
Yeah. So when we were going through all this stuff, reading all these stories and stuff like that, over the course of time, and of course Frankie has helped me out immensely on how to prepare for a lot of things. So we decided that this show we always talk about fishing and what you need and stuff like that, but what about stuff to keep in your boat that's not a rod, reel, or a lure? Stuff like that. What about stuff when you're traveling? So we decided we were going to go and like occasionally, like we did the prop shows and stuff on performance and how to set your boat up, that this is probably, in my opinion, this is probably one of the most important shows for people that are on the road that we've done in a while.
Could not agree more. Yeah. Someone who is on the road a lot. No, he's still on the road. He's just not on the road fishing. It's Trailer Rick. He's been on the show before.
Yeah.
We are going to have Trailer Rick on to close the show out. And like, this is not like, hey, this is how you like tie your knot to catch more fish, or this is a secret color. Rick is going to talk about a number of things with trailers because his name is Trailer Rick, and he like Russ. It'd be weird if you had a guy named Trailer Rick on.
And like, never talked. He never
mentioned a trailer.
I didn't know what one was.
But one of the things that he wants to talk about too, and he deals with a lot. How many trailers does Trailer Rick?
Well, we could ask. How many
trailers do they go? But it's
a
like
lot.
If you've seen a bass boat, you've seen his work.
Yeah, there's I think probably, I don't know what the percentage is. These are questions for Trailer
Yeah, we'll
Rick.
bring him on. Yeah. It'd be weird if Trailer Rick comes on and talked about couches.
Yeah.
Well played, Eli. But he's also going to bring up something that's off and under, which is trailer insurance.
Yeah.
And how not to get screwed, because he's like, dude, you want to talk about some nightmare stories. You have guys who are drastically underinsured on their trailers.
And those are financial nightmare stories. Big
So,
time. Big time. You know what's funny? Not to digress, but I had my boat severely underinsured, and I didn't realize it until last year. And
meaning
what
if
I did,
something had happened, you would not have been able to replace with a new Alpha in your tackle and electronics without coming heavily out of pocket.
no, and what I did was I screwed myself on all my brand new electronics because I never thought about it until later. I'm like, oh my God, I won't even be able to buy one unit for this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's important, but that's, we'll do that later in the show.
It has been so hot here. I have my buddy Rick Harrison studio. We did a Wednesday night show last night, and he talked about, he estimates that over the last 6 years out of Texas, 300 over 12 have been caught.
Oh,
and those are just the ones that are reported. Like out
Right.
of his boat alone over the last 6 years, 4 over 13 caught by guide clients, including a 1410.
Man, that's a big largemouth.
Anyway, we went fishing, and he had just got back from doing a bunch of stuff up north, and they got one pond around here that's actually got like pads and grass and stuff. So we went, caught one fish on forward facing, then pulled out the braid, threw a swim jig and a frog. Rick caught a couple 4s on frog. We caught 5 or 6. Dude, I had the biggest fish I've ever seen. Not ever seen like ever, but in this scenario, shallow, like these are the big pads, like the big pads that have the little holes, but we're not talking like the little pads. We're talking like, you could like set up a little community on each pad.
Yeah. Yeah, the kind that you could see a frog party going at.
I had my cat's at the bass tank getting rigged, the new bass cat. So I'm in Rick's boat, and we're just heavy braid, just frogging and swim jigging. And there's this pad that's like, it's got like a stalk. So if my arm is the stalk, right?
Yeah.
And my jazz hands are the pad, it's leaning over like this. And the bottom of the screen is the water. And before I make the cast, I see it go like this, and then the whole pad comes up and flops over the opposite way, leaving a little bit of hole where the pad had been. And I noticed it, and I said, that was really weird how that pad, and as I brought my swim jig through that, absolute pandemonium. I mean, it was like, have you ever seen like on like a Santee Cooper or something when you spook one of those gators below the surface and it just goes, and the whole freaking thing is that's what it looked like, except it was a bass. And I promptly gave it the onions and complete whiff.
Oh my God, dude.
Complete whiff. It would have been by far the biggest swim jig grass pad fish I've ever caught. Rick thought it was probably, he's caught a couple 10. He's a grass guy. He's like at least 8.
Yeah, dude. They're oh God, that's so fun.
And there's like no trash fish in there. Like it wasn't a mud fish, obviously no pike, nothing. Like it was a bass eating my swim jig, except not eating it well enough.
Yeah, or just missed it completely, which is unusual, but yeah, it happens. I haven't had a really good traditional, and I say traditional swim jig bite, because up here I slow roll them with big swim baits on them. But traditionally, when you're shaking it just under the surface, and you're making all the commotion. In Arkansas, I was fishing one of the new swim jigs that Booyah came out with, and I had a day of days that I've never been able to duplicate ever, and it drove me crazy because I'm like, there's some places here that it's exactly the same, and you'll catch some fish on it, but I have never duplicated that day. So when you were telling me the story, I could feel my heart rate going because I grip my teeth whenever I'm fishing a swim jig or topwater. I grind my teeth when I'm doing it because I'm waiting for the bite to come. At the end of that day, my jaw was killing me because I would be pumping that thing, and I'd come over that dead grass and I'd kill it, and you'd see that boil where the water just goes like it elevates the water,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would be like, and they'd be just a donkey, and it was.
Now, do you on the swim jig? I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, I'm a shallow water swim jig expert. Do you give it a second after, like on the frog? You eat it, you let him feel it, you give it to him.
I wait till the rod loads.
You even on a swim jig, so it's almost in that heavy cover. It's pretty much like a frog bite to where you're not reacting until you feel.
Yeah, you have to. I have to feel the weight on the rod tip, or I won't get them.
And that's what I did. Like I waited because I felt the tick, and I waited, and like I could see it moving, and I noticed my line. Like I felt it, and like my line started to move, and then like as I swung, like it didn't eat it. Like I think I felt the fish. I think it went at it and had it for a second because but it never got like heavy and tight. It wasn't like I hit it and it came off. It was like it clearly.
You kept it moving though, right? You kept moving it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I was like that. I kind of felt it, but it like never
gotten.
Yep.
Yeah. It was so hard to do at first because I had never really thrown a swim jig, and up until that point, that was a while ago, but I had never really thrown a swim jig up until that point. And so it took me a second to catch on. But once I caught on, it was game over. It was game over. But the thing is that you're like, when I'm fishing it the traditional way, we got to talk about it. We got to call it traditional, where you're doing what you did, fishing it through the slop, keeping it moving. You could see it a lot of the times. Sometimes you couldn't, but a lot of the times it's visual. That I throw braid.
I was throwing braid.
Yeah, when I'm slow rolling them, I'm throwing fluorocarbon. When I'm slow rolling them deep, I'm throwing them on fluoro. Although sometimes you could throw it on braid. The fish don't care. They're not line shy.
The other thing is you have to make sure that you have a braid swim jig and not a fluoro swim jig, because there are two very distinct differences. There's kind of a finesse swim jig, and you will just, that's like a paper clip on 65-pound test braid and heavy stuff. This is the stuff that puts a hole in them. All right, we should probably talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, because we could talk fishing forever.
Yeah, heaven forbid. On day 4 of Frank Scalish, we talk about actual fishing.
Fishing stuff.
You went to the boat and the truck and pulled out your.
Yeah, and I couldn't pull everything out clearly.
Your Armageddon bunker tackle box.
Yeah, so here's what I did. So basically I broke it down into 2 sections. What's in the boat, what's in the truck. There's obvious stuff that has to be in your boat. Prop wrench. I have a little 6-inch piece of 2x4 in there, so when I am going to change the prop, I can wedge the 2x4 up on the blade and I can get the prop off. Spare prop, obviously. I have inline fuses. I have plug-in fuses. I have black electrical tape. I have a screwdriver multi-tool, which has all kinds of different heads on it. Torx, square, Phillips, standard stuff. Side cutters. I never used to carry side cutters in the boat, and I was on an elite event on the Red River. This is what made me put side cutters in the boat. I'm on the Red River. I'm doing really good. I think I'm sitting in 7th place. It's the final day. I have to lock through to get back, so I got a decent limit. I don't want to screw it up, so I locked through a little bit early. I had one about 4.5 pounds in a bush located. That was a nightmare to get to because it was way, way back in the garbage. And I didn't know if I was going to have enough time to get back to it and get back out to get to the weigh-in. But I took a gamble, and I was talking to my non-boater as I'm climbing over logs with the boat, and the boat's rocking and getting stuck, and I'm backing up and going because I'm trying to get to where this fish was. And I was telling my non-boater, look, I got 1 pitch in here. I got to have 1 clean pitch in here, and then you can have at it. And he's like, yeah, cool, no problem. And I said, and he had remember that Spence Scout, that lure with the metal bill on it?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I don't. I know what you're talking about.
So
I've never had one.
So basically, it's a metal billed crankbait that you could walk real slowly in the water, and for the most part, it'll climb over stuff, limbs and everything. It's a shallow running bait. It was the hooks on it were rusty as could be. Probably never changed since the day it was purchased. And I finally get in position to pitch at this fish. This guy launches that Spence Scout. He has an errant cast, and it lands right smack in the branches of the bush where the bass is at. And he pulls it, and I'm like, no, don't do that, because I could pitch in there and catch that bass if he doesn't disturb it. But he already jerked on it, and the whole bush moved. So I pitched in there a couple of times to no avail. And I said, here, let me get your bait out. And so I went to slingshot it, like twink, twink, to get it off the branch it was stuck on. And I had pulled that thing, and I pop, and it backed up a little bit. And I said, oh, I got it now, man. And I pull back real hard, and I go, all of a sudden that thing goes like a bullet right to me. So I went like that to block my face, and it went right. Both hooks got me in the arm and the bicep, and it was buried in me, and the hooks were rusty as could be. So I had no side cutters, no nothing with me. And so I'm like, holy crap, we got to go. I got to drive us out of here. Anyway, I just grabbed a pair of needle nose pliers and ripped it out of my arm. So I was bleeding like you can't imagine. So I had a towel in the boat. So I wrapped the towel around my arm, and I quickly taped it up on my arm, and then we went back to the weigh-in. Anyway, long and short of it is, after that day, I always have side cutters on me in the boat, always, because, and I couldn't push the hooks through, for one. One of the hooks was even broken off, probably broke off when I was slingshotting it. That's how rusty they were. But it was unbelievable. So I got side cutters. I have a socket set in the boat, but here's what I did for the socket set in the boat, because I didn't want to carry 5,000 sockets. I went through the main stuff where I would need it. Jack plate. So I got sockets to fit the jack plate bolts. I got sockets to fit my transducer bolts. And I got sockets to fit all my mount brackets. And then a couple of standard motor sockets of stuff that you could look at on your motor and see, like a spark plug, one to fit over the plug, stuff like that. So I don't have 150 sockets in the boat. I probably got a dozen. And that's what I do. And I have a gallon of outboard oil. Really, that's the most important stuff that you could carry. There's other little, incidentals that you could carry, but that's really what I make sure is in the boat at all times. And then the truck is different, because the truck I have tools. So in my truck, the first thing I got is a 3 or 4,000 pound floor jack. And that's in a plastic container with car towing straps, ratchet straps, tire iron, all the heavy stuff is in there. I have a wiring kit. Now let me show you my wiring kit, because I made this kit. So the wiring kit, I've got waterproof heat shrink, waterproof heat shrink connectors, all different sizes. I've got wire pliers in it. I've got a circuit tester in it. I have zip ties, and I also carry heat shrink tubing. This is all, whenever I travel, this is always in my vehicle. The wild thing is I never really thought about it until recently, but I always carry a tire plug kit. And so what I wound up doing was, and this is funny, Matt, I had a cheap air pump, a piece of crap, cheap plug in your cigarette lighter air pump that sounded like, you know, them toy airplanes when it's going, and it doesn't pump nothing up hardly. It takes an hour to pump a tire up. And I went out and I got a real, holy crap, a real air pump, like a good one that'll pump a semi truck tire up. And it's got gauges and everything on it.
Holy smoke.
And it plugs up to your battery of your car.
It's like a time machine, Frank.
Yeah, it's got a long cord on it, so I can plug it into my truck and I could reach my bass boat tires and stuff like that. So I bought this, Matt, 2 weeks before Rach and I came down to your wedding. All right.
Okay.
So I literally was sick and tired because I was pumping up my trailer tires on the boat with the piece of shit one. I mean, the bad one that I had. And, I timed the first tire and it took like 11 and a half minutes to get it up to pressure. So when I put it on the other tire, I set my timer on my phone for 11 and a half minutes and I went and was doing other stuff. And then I'll come back, right? Well, when I came back, it was on fire. Like it was literally on fire in the driveway. It was just smoldering. So that's what prompted me to get that. Well, you want to know the crazy thing, dude? Coming home from your wedding, I had to use the new pump I bought 4 times. I had picked up a nail in my tire. I couldn't find the nail. I soaped the tire up. I couldn't find the nail, but the leak was super slow. So I would pump it up and then I would watch my tire pressure. And when my tire pressure started to drop, I'd pull over and pump it back up again. Well, when I got home, pulled the tire off, the nail was on the inside of the tire where I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And so then I pulled it out and plugged it. But yeah, dude, it saved my ass coming back from your wedding. Otherwise, I'd have been on the side of the road.
To the traffic, and then they were gone.
Dashboard.
What did you say? My father with
You
anything.
remember this? I don't know why, but I just thought of the Christmas story.
Mom said I should help.
Oh yeah.
Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word, the big one, the queen mother of dirty words, the F word. What did you say?
Anyway, when you were telling I feel like anything like that will definitely bring out the best.
Oh, that is great, dude. Oh my God. So where was I? Okay. High quality air pump, tire plugs for sure. Good socket set. Now in the truck, I carry metric and standard because I have the room for it. I have a power battery powered screwdriver. And then what I do with the screwdriver bits is very important because I have everything. I have Torx heads, straight heads, Phillip heads. I even have extenders because you have to have extenders because a lot of things that go wrong in the truck you can't reach with just a regular one. So you need the extenders. I have the extenders. I have long bits, short bits, everything you could possibly need for it. That's what I carry in the vehicle, and this plays dividends for fixing your trailer as well. That's why I carry a really good wire kit with me because I've had to do stuff on trailers a ton traveling where one of the wires shorts out and you got to find where the broken wire is and repair it, or you get a stick stuck up somewhere and it pulls the wire out. So I do that. Now I carry black tape in the boat and black tape in the truck. Regular, electrical tape in the boat and the truck. And then Todd, my late great closest friend Todd, turned me on to liquid electrical tape.
Never even heard of that.
This stuff is absolute money.
Liquid electrical tape?
Yes, liquid electrical tape.
Starbright, they've been big supporter of the fishing industry too.
This is
seals
money.
and protects electrical connections.
Yeah, so when I wire my trailer stuff, when I slide a piece of heat shrink tubing on the wire, then I use my waterproof heat shrink butt connector. I heat shrink that. When I heat shrink that, then I take the liquid electrical tape and I put that over it. Then I slide my heat shrink tubing. Where did it go? I slide my heat shrink tubing over that. And then I'll heat shrink tube that.
Fair enough.
And then there's no water getting in there. There is no water getting in there.
So do you just keep this in like a nice Rubbermaid tub that's in the bed of your truck then?
Yeah.
And then it's just all in a one unit. You slide it up to the front and it just lives there.
Yeah. Except for my air pump. My air pump I keep underneath my back seat in the truck.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want anything to happen to that. One of the crazier things that I keep that honestly, I mean, I have a voltmeter and stuff like that because you got to have that.
Mhm.
I have a 35-foot nylon rope in the boat, a good one, strong, like super strong. And I'll tell you something. There's a lot of electric only lakes that I'll launch the boat and I'll get that out, tie it to the trolling motor and send the boat off the trailer and then get out and pull the boat back in. That's really why I keep it. But one day my cameraman and we were filming and they were pulling water like mad. And when we got back to the ramp, we couldn't get the boat back on the trailer. We could not get the boat back on the trailer. So what we did was, thank God I had that rope, because we jerry rigged the rope around the boat, around some trees, and then I backed in with the rope holding the boat in position and wedged the trailer underneath it so we could get out. Otherwise, we would not have gotten the boat out.
Fair
so
enough.
that was one thing. And then something that I carry now that I never did until I started traveling with Frankie is I have a brake bleed kit in the boat.
I would never even.
I mean,
think
in
to
the
carry
truck.
that.
Yeah, in the truck, because my old trailer was on its last leg, and I needed that because I was constantly messing with the brakes on it, constantly.
And that gets all the air out of the lines.
Gets all the air out of the line, pushes new fluid in. Of course, you still got to push the tongue in and out.
That would probably be more important for, and based on the stories, a lot of older boats, not 2026s, 2025s, but 90s, 2000s boats and stuff. That's where you start doing that.
And then I have a spare hub kit for the trailer.
Clay would like to see the Beretta that you carry on the road.
I do not carry firearms in my vehicle.
So, because they're on your person at all times. I would like.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
So this is something that you did not mention that I carry and have used a lot, as you know, is an impact wrench.
Yes, I also have an impact wrench.
You do have an impact.
Yeah, I didn't bring it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The impact has been key to me. And then something that you didn't mention that I have in the boat. This is mainly because my dad, and he was an engineer, and I get them in my stocking, and I get them for my birthday, and I get them in every package that comes. Assorted heavy duty zip ties.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot zip ties, but I have them written down. Where are they? I'm going to show you. I have Torex Square Standard. Where's my zip ties? I wrote them down. Hold on.
Zip ties can save vehicles, like all sorts of stuff. Zip ties are like awesome. And you can get, like, I have them from 4 foot long down to like 3 inches.
Yeah, I do too. I carry them in the truck all the time.
Yeah.
I thought I wrote zip ties down. I did. I just can't find it. My notes are all scribbled all over, not in
No,
any.
that was
They're
fantastic.
in
The other
random
thing
order.
that I have carried and have used that you don't think is big is if you break down at night, I have a set of those 4 reflective triangle, like the orange triangle warning things that set up. And when you're on the side of the road or on a highway or anything like that, that gives you
It's
such
money.
peace of mind to walk 100 yards behind and set those 4 things up while you're working on something.
Yeah, for sure. I have when I fish Bassmasters, I carried reflective street cones.
Yes, reflective things. This was the one other thing, and this is more to prevent a lot of cussing like in A Christmas Story, is the first couple times I had flats or issues where I had to get my spare tire off.
There it is.
Yeah,
Zip
there it
ties.
is, zip ties. A lot of the spare tires, you have to have the nut on the top and the nut on the bottom, depending on where it is. And if you only have one of those tools, you're down there with a pair of pliers trying to hold it tight. That a lot of times it's welded and you're trying to get it on the top. I got 2 of those sockets that are identical, so I can put one on the bottom and then loosen the top to get that rod that holds the spare tire on off. I've spent more time trying to get the spare tire off of the trailer than I have changing a spare tire.
Yeah, it's true. It's 100% true. You know, the other thing too, nobody thinks about, every year you should drop the spare tire out from underneath your truck and grease the cable. Up here, because they put salt on the roads in the winter, everything rusts. And I got a flat one time and I couldn't get the stupid tire down because it was rusted in there. It was completely rusted in there. And I had to crawl underneath the truck and jimmy it down. And let me tell you something, when it's snowy, wet, salty out and you're underneath on your back trying to pull that wet, dripping, greasy ass tire down,
it's not a good day.
That's not a good day. So I do that every year too. Because
I'm going to get to the point where we are going to make someone's day today by giving away a trailer Watchdog system.
I do in fact want to do that, because after all, these are stories of mishap.
They are
mayhem.
Let's bring in Alex Menendez, who is the owner, the founder of trailerwatchdog.com. What's up, Alex? You got me?
Hey guys, yeah, I got you. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Clear, buddy.
Loud and clear. Thanks for jumping on. I know we've been talking with you and sharing some of these stories, but we've talked about it a lot. This is kind of the face behind Trailer Watchdog, and this thing's kind of your baby.
Yes, yeah. It's it was a idea that came to me about I want to say like 8 years ago, and it really wasn't until the last 4 years that I started designing and developing it into a product and into what it is today.
Oh, I'm a fan of it. I'm a big fan.
A little bit just about your background and kind of how you came up with it.
Oh, yeah. So I'm an engineer, electronics and systems engineering by trade. And I grew up in Florida doing a lot of trips down to the Keys with my parents. We would go 3 to 4 times every single year. Do a lot of lobster fishing and like big game stuff like tuna, wahoo, marlin, dolphin, all the fishing that you do down in the Keys.
All the fish that you never say, I think I got a bite, when they hit.
Yeah, no, they slam you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the roads that you have to take when you go to the Keys, at least for us, was US 1. It's a famous road down to the Keys, and it's basically like 2.5, 3 hours of just nothing on the left and on the right side. And what happens is the entire the left and the right side are both littered with trailer carcasses of, like ruined adventures for the family, and just adventures that never happened. It's probably a good way of saying
Adventures
it.
that took a turn.
Yeah. And they're missing wheels. They've got the axles. I've seen axles completely shifted backwards, right? Like all of the horror stories, like boats on the side of the road, like it came to a stop like 200 feet wherever the wheel left the chat. And it's just a bunch of crazy stories. So, I started thinking, I'm like, there's got to be a better way to know early on, a scenario that may be happening. So, I started doing some thinking, and, I realized that the precursor to almost all of these scenarios and failure events is heat.
Mm-hmm.
It's the number one identifier of an issue. So I went ahead and I designed a 1.0 version, a prototype, and I worked on that for about 2 years. And then we launched with the TWD 1400, and through some sales and some customer feedback, we arrived on this new product line, the TWD 1500 series, which is a massive step in the correct direction for what trailer monitoring should be.
Yeah, when I hooked mine up, I was really impressed with it. Honestly, I saw the first how sensitive it was the first minute that I hooked it up and got online with it, got on the app. When I had the trailer in the parking lot, the sun side was a couple degrees hotter than the shaded side. And then when I backed it in the water to put the boat on the trailer, it cooled right down to the water temperature.
Yeah.
And that was like, to me, that was like, holy crap, because when your bearings start to heat up, you towing with no monitoring system,
Mm-hmm.
you have no earthly idea that it's about to fracture, because you can't visibly see anything at that moment. You start to see it when the damage is done.
Right. Or somebody pulls up next to you and tells you, they're
hey,
doing one of these, like, hey, look back, your stuff's on fire.
That is a nice boat. Thanks. They
Yeah.
recognize me. Mad for BTO. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's me, man.
In the meantime, you see little kids chasing you with a bunch of s'mores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the app tells you, you get a package of the things that you designed, and then it tells you each axle temperature.
Yeah, so you get individual axle temperature, individual tire pressure, and individual tire temps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all tracked. All at the same time. And we do intelligent trend monitoring on it as well. So like most TPMS systems just have like a upper limit threshold, right, that they allow, where it's like, hey, if the tire's not on fire, don't send the alert. But if it is on fire, send the alert, which is already way too late.
Yeah,
so
way too late.
What sets this system apart is that we have a maximum allowable difference to be read between all of the data points. So I'll give you an example of that. Let's say you got a dual axle setup, and just for easy numbers sake, all of the axles are running at 100 degrees, right? Under load, at speed, and you're cruising. Now, the upper limit for the temperature threshold is, by default, I think is around like 170 degrees. That's getting in the toasty range, right?
Yeah, that's mildly, wouldn't it?
We're not going to wait for that one axle to hit 70 degrees difference before sending the alert, because that doesn't make sense. So if we have all of the three other axles running at 100 degrees, if we see an axle running at 130, we're going to send an alert immediately, right? So because you've got a 30-degree temperature difference between the other 3 axle points, that's already something that should have your attention in some capacity.
Right.
Right.
And so the funny thing is that on my trailer, I'm running close to 2,000 miles on it. All of my axles on any given day are 1 to 2 degrees different. They're never, I'm noticing trends in how my tires go, how, my tire pressures go, and where the temperatures are, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So I called you, Alex. Actually, I said, man, I know it's hot out. It was like 99 degrees or 98 degrees out. I was fishing, and I came home and I said, holy shit, my tires are running hot. I mean, is
Mhm.
that normal? And you're like, what are all the other tires? I said, they're all within a degree. He goes, yeah, that's just from the heat from the road, the heat from the air. And then I said, well, what good is tire temperature then? And you brought up a point that I never thought of. If I had a
Yeah.
wheel that was out of balance, or I had a bent axle and I was
Right.
trailering, and let's say that it was not 100 degrees outside, it was 70 degrees outside, and my trailer tire temperatures are all between, right around 80 degrees, let's say, and I got one tire running 95.
Yeah.
That,
Something's wrong.
right. And
Yeah.
I never thought about the oscillation of the tire that's out of kilter creating more heat because of friction.
Yeah.
But now, see, that's a blowout waiting to happen. And so you could address that before you have the tire failure.
Yeah. The other way that it works is I had a customer reach out to me that was able to identify 2 different scenarios happening on their trailer. One for one customer was that the U-bolts for the axle on the trailer, one of them had shifted slightly back on the front right side. And what was happening is that the inside face of that tire was dragging as he was moving forward. So that was generating an enormous amount of heat. And he didn't even know that he had that problem with his trailer until he installed the system. And he was like, I've had 3 blowouts on that front right tire, and I couldn't figure out why the tires were blowing out. So he was able to diagnose that. And he goes, when I saw it on your system and it came up, it alerted me that tire was hotter than the other ones by 30 degrees. I pulled over and I started doing some measurements, and that's when I realized that I had an issue to fix.
Yeah, because even if he jacked the tire up and spinned it, if it was straight on the hub, it would spin straight.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell if that tire is half an inch out of alignment, just with your eyes, right? And then I had another customer reach out to me where the opposite scenario of the temperature difference alerted them to a problem. So this is somebody who uses it in an application where they're doing like hot shot towing, and they were moving some heavy equipment around, and he was coming downhill and on the brakes, and he noticed that only 3 of the axle temps increased in temperature while riding the brakes downhill. So he was able to identify after that, one of my brake shoes it's not biting the inside of the drum. So he was able to identify that he was only braking with 75% of the tires back there instead of 100%.
Yeah, dude, on a heavy load, that's a big deal. On a
Yeah.
heavy load.
Yeah, and I see that Scott had asked if this can be used on single axle trailers. We actually have solutions for all axle counts, all the way up to quad axle and quad dually configurations if needed.
Yeah, so single axles, no problem.
Yeah,
I would venture to say it's even more important for a single axle because I've had when I towed the old Skeeter ZX 190 across the country.
Yeah, it's not fault tolerant. That's the problem with a single axle trailer, right?
Yeah.
And I've got my own horror stories from a long time ago. I bought I bought a secondhand jet ski from a gentleman in Miami.
Good thing you didn't mention that, or else you'd have never been on this show, Alex. Frank and jet skis do not get along. Oh my gosh, we have a jet skier on day 4. I never thought this would happen.
So pull up the shirt. Pull up the shirt.
To be fair, it was a pretty peppy little ski. It was a ZXI 1100 2-stroke.
Okay.
And that thing could go through 16 gallons of gas in 45 minutes.
Holy smokes.
It was a ripper.
So it was eco-friendly.
Frank would have tracked you down.
Yeah.
Frank would have tracked you down way before you ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just lost all credibility.
Oh God.
Not true. Not true.
Well, when I bought that thing, by the time I made it back to my house where I was living, the wheel literally, the second I lifted the trailer to unload it, the one wheel came right off. It had been back there chattering and making noise for over
Frank
50
loosened
minutes.
all the lug nuts in the parking lot before.
Oh yeah.
You are so lucky, man.
Yeah.
When I lost my trailer tire, it was a single axle trailer. It was a TR20 single axle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going like a little bit above the speed limit. And it was all I could do to keep the boat straight behind me. It was kicking out like a 50-foot rooster tail of sparks where it was dragging on the ground, and it was going left and right.
Yeah.
And by the time I got off the freeway, literally the damage was done. It was over. But
so to get a little bit in and we're dragging this out because we know people are seeing it, and we've got this story that we're going to get to, and then we'll read it, and then we'll say the name, and then we'll get you in contact with Frank and Alex to get the right one, the right TWD 1500 smart trailer monitoring system to apply to it. But I'm going to say this a lot, Alex, in layman's terms, you're an engineer. Frank knows what he's talking about. I'm a fly on the wall when it comes to this type of stuff.
We know.
This is the Trailer Watchdog website. This is basically the package that you get. And the questions that I've gotten that I forward, and I'm sure you've gotten them too, is do you have to drill into the stuff? How does the stuff work? How does it connect it to the Bluetooth? And this stuff that you're looking at here is basically what the system comes with. And
yeah. So
you can either have it installed, or if you're somewhat proficient, even remotely proficient, you can do it yourself.
It's not hard.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So just from that image right there that you have up, you can see it in the middle there. That's the unit that gets mounted up front.
Okay.
And the hardest part of the install realistically is getting the power to that unit. That thing runs on either 12 or 24 volts. And the instructions walk you through the process of how to wire it into your existing running lights for the trailer, or how to tap into the junction box if you have electric brakes. It's very, very straightforward. That's the hardest part of the entire install process. Is basically power.
But here, I'm going to show you something. It's not that complicated either, because what I did was I put a pigtail. Well, let's get some clarity here.
Oh yeah. So Frank's truck has the 7-pin round and the 4-pin flat connector.
Yeah, that's what mine has.
Directly above it. So what he did is he bought a 2-pin flat connector and just a pigtail, and then he just wired the master unit to get power from that little 4-pin connector.
Correct.
So he plugs in his trailer brakes, and then directly above it, he just plugs in the Trailer Watchdog unit.
And then you just have to turn your lights on while you're driving, and that gives power to the running lights, and that gives power to it, and then it connects wirelessly via Bluetooth.
So that's where I mounted the what do you call that? The brain?
The master unit.
That's where I mounted the master unit. And you can see I just double stick taped it and zip tied it on there.
Zip tie, see? There you go.
Yep.
Right.
It's viable here.
Correct. And then I'll show you what I did.
It comes with it comes with the with 3M very high bond double-sided stick
So you don't have to
pads.
drill through anything.
So that's where my axle
Correct.
sensor is.
Okay.
And that's on the back side of my axle, not the
Should
front.
have sent me these
back
pictures
side.
before the show, Frank.
I know.
That's a magnetic temperature sensor there. So it's all waterproof. You basically just stick those right onto the back of.
Is that this
the,
thing right here? Circle. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me get everything back to. Frank has to be on the right-hand side of the screen, or else it gets his.
It's my OCD, man. It gets
This thing
crazy.
that I've circled right here, that's these.
Yes. Yep.
Perfect. And then these plug into your tire stems.
Yep. They
Right.
come. It all comes pre-configured. There's no additional setup really needs to be done. Those TPMS sensors screw onto the valve stems, and they come to you in a little box with their positions labeled.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Once you mount everything up and connect the power to it, you're off to the races.
Right. So what I did, so there's no confusion, when I got those, I took a silver Sharpie and I wrote L1, L2, and R1, R2 on the appropriate ones. So if I ever took two off at the same time, I wouldn't get them confused.
You would do that.
Right.
But
And so here, so what
They're
are those?
serviceable too. I want to let the people know that those TPMS sensors are serviceable too. A lot of people sell you a sealed TPMS sensor that after a few years they're like, oh yeah, you got to basically chuck it in the trash.
Mhm.
But those sensors are sealed, or I'm sorry, are waterproofed and serviceable. So there's a cap that you can just unscrew and replace the battery later, and the system will notify you. when
And
the
I'll
batteries
also say
get
you
low.
can get on the website. You can literally look up all this stuff. There's little things, what's included, key features, why it matters, app features, frequently asked questions. You can go through all that stuff for it. But that's basically the crux of what the system is.
Okay. So what do you call the little boxes that connect the wires to everything?
I call those the slave units.
Is that these
Okay.
right here?
Yep.
Okay,
That's
so
the left
here's-
and the right side.
So here's how I mounted the slave unit. And again, this is the back of my trailer. So what I did was I put zip ties on the outside ends so it won't slide left to right, double stick tape, and then I put zip ties over the top of it to hold it in place, and it doesn't even budge, doesn't move, and
That's not going anywhere.
it's been bulletproof. And those are 40-pound zip ties. So that you aren't there, that thing is not moving anywhere.
Yeah, and there's two of them.
Yes, exactly. There's two of them.
So
And so, because I didn't want to drill in the trailer either, and I know a lot of guys have issues with drilling in the trailer. Now, mine is a C-channel C-channel, so it was really easy for me to unload the boat and then get inside there and do all that. It took no time at all. If you have a tube trailer, you just get a snake and fish the wires up through the tube. Where your fenders are, there'll be openings in the tube trailer. And you could run the wires up the tube all the way to the front. Like I ran mine through the tongue where all the other wires come through to the plug. I ran it right up through the tongue, right in the where your trailer wires are, it's that stretchy cord thing. I ran it right up the middle of that, so the pigtail goes right in there. So it's all contained. There's no wires hanging down. There's nothing. Nothing.
And then it's just a free app. Like I don't have mine yet. Mine's in the mail that Scott's gonna install, so I don't have to go back through the last 20 minutes and have it. It shows up here. Then you can go to your settings. You can set your max temps and all that stuff. And then here's the thing: there's no monthly fee for the app or anything like that. It's
no.
Once you've got it and you've got it installed and you're running it, you're good to go. It's not like $9.99 to keep it going. That app is
right.
With and it's a super easy to download app. I think that's important because there's a lot of.
Now, Alex, go ahead.
There's no subscription. There's no subscription anything for the product after you buy it, unless you're gonna look into some of our commercial offerings. But I think that's out of the scope of
we're talking
this
about
application.
You just want to get to the lake and catch a 3-pounder on a DD22.
So you were saying the app is free to download. We also today, I just pushed this live on the site about 30 minutes ago. We have the TWD a standalone monitoring device here, which is just a simple touchscreen display that will come to you like this. You plug it in, right? It'll boot. And then after that, it will automatically connect to any available TWD 1500 devices and give you all of your data right here. We can see here.
That's money, dude.
The data is coming in. These are axle temps up here on top with the bar graphs. And then this is individual tire pressures and data here.
Oh, that's money.
And it's just ready to go.
And that's just an additional $75 then, the standalone monitor.
Yep. If you don't want to use your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
all right. You want to hear this story?
Yeah, this is a great story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I cannot thank everyone enough. Like we said at the beginning of the show, this is Frank and I I've set up all these. I mean, I've had to get, this is probably half a ream of paper. We got, like I said, photos and all that, but we'll just read this story.
This story's so good.
Here goes nothing. My fishing partner and I were leaving northern Missouri to fish a college FLW tournament on Pickwick Lake. We left early in the morning before the tournament with the plan of arriving that evening, getting the boat in the water, and having a little time to prepare before competition. It was pouring rain by the time we left. We set off pulling my 2008, so we're talking a 10-year-old Bass Cat Puma, and made it to the other side of St. Louis without any issues. We stopped for fuel, and while the truck was filling, I did what I always did, a complete walk around to the truck and trailer. Everything looked exactly like it should. Tires looked good. Nothing was loose. There wasn't a single reason to think the next few hundred miles would be any different than the first. Got back on I-55, set the cruise control, and headed south. After 2 hours, something didn't feel right. It wasn't a loud noise or a warning light. I just happened to notice that the truck's fuel economy was much lower than I expected. This caught my attention, but with the rain coming down as hard as it was, I couldn't see my trailers in the mirrors. All I could see was a wall of road spray. I asked my fishing partner if he could see anything. He looked out his window and couldn't tell much either, but then he turned around and looked out the back window. The spray on my side was much worse, he said. It wasn't spray, it was smoke. We pulled over in the pouring rain, and the second I stepped out, I knew we were in trouble. One of the trailer wheels was cocked sideways and had been dragging down the highway. The tire had a hole in the sidewall about the size of my fist. The goal instantly changed. We weren't trying to get to Pickwick anymore. Before we could do anything, we just had to get it fixed to keep the trailer moving. We removed the damaged wheel and decided our best option was to limp to the next exit. At the truck stop, I went inside and asked if they had trailer bearings, seals, or a replacement hub. The lady looked at me and then said around the one good tooth that she had left, no. But back in Sykeston, there's redneck trailers. It sounded exactly like what we needed. I thanked her. We loaded everything back up, turned around, and limped nearly 30 miles back north on 3 wheels. We pulled into redneck trailers. I walked in, explained the situation, asked if they had any parts, and was greeted with, nope. They suggested O'Reilly Auto Parts across town, so we limped over to O'Reilly Auto Parts on the narrow streets over railroad tracks until we finally rolled into O'Reilly's. It was now 11 a.m. in the morning. The employees didn't have the hub I needed, but they were kind enough to let us tear the trailer apart in the gravel parking lot. So I grabbed my toolbox, pulled out the spare bearings that I always carried, and started tearing the trailer apart. Getting the spindle nut off became its own fight. The bearing had decided life was better as individual molecules, and all that remained inside the hub was grease full of man glitter.
Oh my gosh. This guy
Eventually, I got the
writer.
brake caliper off and slid the hub free. When I looked at the back side where the grease seal rides, it wasn't machined anymore. It looked like a hole saw after the local tweaker had borrowed it to steal the catalytic converters.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. What an image.
I carried the greasy hub into O'Reilly looking like a coal miner from the 1800s and asking one more time if they had anything that would work. Nope. I asked about spindle nuts instead. They showed me what he had. I bought one of every size. Back outside, armed with sandpaper and shop towels, I started cleaning the spindle. It was rough. I shattered what was left of the bearing race, getting everything apart and sanding until I had the spindle as smooth as I could make it. It looked more like an old scratch vinyl record than a precision machined spindle. Then came the moment that I thought would save us. I opened my toolbox and grabbed my spare bearings. They were rusted solid. At that point, I finally admitted what I hadn't wanted to admit all morning. We were not going to make it to Pickwick. Now our mission is simply to get home. I went back into O'Reilly's to buy ratchet straps. As I held the door open for another customer walking out, he was carrying the last set of ratchet straps that they had in stock. Another dead end. Instead, I had to buy electrical wire so that I could hang what was left of the brake caliper and keep it from dragging. Then I looked around the truck trying to figure out what I owned that could keep the axle off of the pavement. The only thing that I found were my dock lines, so I jacked the axle up and tied it off to the trailer frame with rope. Then we started driving north. Still raining, still on 3 wheels. Every once in a while, the axle reminded us that it was still back there, scraping on the pavement. By 5:05 in the evening, we were in the middle of St. Louis during rush hour in stop-and-go traffic. 4 lanes, pouring rain, pulling a 3-wheel bass boat that occasionally announced its presence with the sound of steel grinding on asphalt. Somehow we made it through. I dropped my fishing partner off at his house, made it home to my house, and unpacked everything.
Oh my gosh.
Today I carry a spare hub already packed with grease, plus vacuum sealed bearings, seal, spindle nut, grease, and the hardware to rebuild a hub on the side of the road if I have to.
Man, I need a beer after that. That was...
Yeah, no kidding.
That is from Champ Caldwell.
Champ Caldwell, you are a winner.
Congratulations. That was a fantastic story for Champ. Send me an email, matt@basszone.com, Trailer Watchdog story winner. Put that in the title. Also send it to info@basszone.com. We'll get you hooked up with Trailer Watchdog with Alex. He actually has a code that will email you to make sure you have the right stuff, and you can throw that on the trailer. And congratulations, whether you have a single or a double. So, and thank you, Alex, for jumping on as support of Day 4, and then also agreeing to give one of these systems away.
Of course. The second I heard about you collecting some of these horror stories, I knew it was going to be good.
He's on there. That's Champ right there.
Oh, congratulations, Champ.
Yeah, you're the man, dude. So we decided, because all these stories, honestly, Alex, they're all phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're going to do is we're holding on to the stories, and then in future episodes, when we give away Pradco gift cards or LURENET gift cards and stuff like that, we're going to pull from the stories, so somebody will win a gift card throughout the season.
Yeah. Great question. How about a discount code? There is a discount code that is available, that is set up, that is active on the Trailer Watchdog website. That is capital BTL 25. It's the same discount code that you can use at LURENET. What is this discount code? Get the.
It's 25 off of the order.
Oh, 25% off.
No, $25.
$25 off.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well,
a bit of
listen,
a difference.
We have BTL 25 at LURENET, but they change it every year, but they didn't change it this year. So it's still 25, and it gets 15% off. So it makes absolutely no sense to have that code.
It's the year, but I got sick and tired of changing it all the time.
So we just kept it 25, even though that gets 50% off, and now you get $25 off of the Trailer Watchdog order with capital BTL 25.
Yeah.
There you go. You should have seen, your eyes got the size of quarters.
Wait, hold on.
Details and discount codes, not my specialty. But I mean, I think that's Frank and I, when we were going through and we read that when it came down to a couple of them, we were like, there were a couple of very visual lines in here that I think pushed it over the top for Champ.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I mean, the storytelling was really
top notch.
Just top notch. Absolutely ace. Yeah.
So we had, because it was so close between so many, we had to we had to try to narrow it down to pick the winner. So we chose that one because it was probably the most visual while reading.
Yeah.
And laugh your butt off when you're reading it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all worthy.
Thank you guys very much for spending the time and effort. Appreciate it, and we'll refer to those stories in the future. So
yeah,
there you go.
It looks like there were some questions regarding the product. It says, oh, what happens if you lose the TPMS sensor? Can you buy another? Yes, just reach out to me, support at Trailer Watchdog, and we'll get you sorted. We also have an optional anti-theft lock nut that can be included if you just send a follow-up email with your order. That essentially it screws onto the valve stem before you put the sensor on, and then it jams into the bottom of the TPMS sensor. So you have to basically rip the valve stem off to steal the TPMS sensor.
Yeah. I would also like to point this out for individuals like me that are like, this sounds awesome, but it's way above my intelligence level. Like when you get on here, there's very like to do. It's almost like when you buy something from IKEA and it shows up. Like you're like, I'm never gonna get this desk put together, and then all of a sudden, as you follow step by step, then all of a sudden you get done and boom.
Yeah, the instructions are very verbose so that you don't have to, be on your phone or bring a computer to do the install process. Everything you need could easily be referenced there. I mean, the truth is that you're connecting power to a device up front, mounting it, and then everything else on the back, you can't hook the wiring up incorrectly. It's designed in a way where it only goes together in a working fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just saying, I deal with some engineers. My dad was an engineer. Scott from the Bass Tank is an engineer.
Yes,
you're an engineer. They tend to take things as given that everybody understands things that communications majors such as myself clearly do not. So I have no problem saying that.
Well, any issues, right? Any issues, anybody can reach out on the website. There's a phone number there, and there's support email. I would put the Pepsi challenge to any of my competitors just selling a TPMS solution. See if you can pick up the phone and give one of those guys a call. See who you get on the phone.
No kidding.
And like I said, Frank, that was the biggest thing. This is months, 6+ months in the making. And Frank put it on, and I said, I will not bring this into BTL until you have ran it. And if it wasn't so far through 2,000 miles of this stuff, if it wasn't right, like that was like, we will not compromise the brand for that. Is there any warranty stuff on it?
Yes, there's a 1-year warranty on it.
Okay.
And honestly speaking, if you're at like a year and a few months and you reach out to me and you have an issue, I'm going to do my best to take care of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so far, I don't ever not have it on when I'm in tow.
Yeah. Once the one time that you tow with it and you can see the data in real time, you can never, ever go back.
No,
you can't go back. I tow a 35-foot fifth wheel with my old beat up F-250, and it is I was living in my mirrors towing without this thing on.
Yeah, I do it too. I do the same thing. And plus, I mean, when you're traveling, so I'm thinking Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, Orlando, Chicago. These are all Dallas. These are all places that you go through where you stop and you go, all right, here we go. Let's hope, let's hope we roll through it. And now you can actually look and see it. Or if you're approaching it and you do notice something different, you can get it handled before it. So
yeah, I talk to a lot of guys that they understand that there is something to monitor back there, because they tell me like, oh yeah, every time I stop to refuel, I put my hand on the hubs.
I do that.
And it's like, yeah, that's good until until it's too hot,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, I never thought, what do I do if one of
Yeah.
them is?
Yeah, until you leave all of your hand, the first layer of skin on the hub after checking it. It's like, yep, it's too hot. Yeah.
And that's what'll happen too, man.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, thank you for jumping on. I appreciate the time. I would venture to say where I am is hotter than where you are. You're in Florida, right?
No, I'm actually in Maryland now.
Oh, you're
but
in Maryland now.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
grew up in Florida. I lived there for around 26 years.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's probably cooler in Maryland too. It's like 103, like 15 days in a row here.
Ooh,
God, I hate that, man.
that's brutal.
I need a place where it's 65 degrees all day, every day.
Champlain, Thousand Islands.
Yeah, except in the winter when they have 6 months of nothing I want.
We just take all this lucrative day 4 money and buy a cabin up there, Frank, and then just
Yeah,
spend 4 months, take 4 months out of the year.
Will a cardboard box last that long?
Excuse me, sir. This overpass, you cannot live under this overpass. But thanks for jumping on. Greatly appreciate it, Alex.
Thanks,
and if you have
Alex.
any questions, it is the email info@trailerwatchdog.
It's support@trailerwatchdog.com.
Nothing like
Support.
getting the email and the discount wrong. Sorry.
Support.
Support@trailerwatchdog.com
trailerwatchdog.com
and BTL25 during
Yep,
checkout.
to get $25 off of your order. Super easy to understand that. Like, I know which ones I needed in that. So, all right, we'll
Thank you,
talk to you
guys.
later, Alex.
Alex,
Thanks for
take
having
care,
me,
man.
guys.
You got
Cheers.
it. Bye.
Even though we've heard that story a couple times, it was still just as good the third or fourth time.
Oh,
around.
it's better. It's better the second time because now I was paying attention to more of the writing than the actual incident.
We've
which
got a
is
second
great.
guest for today's show, Frank.
We do have a second guest.
Trailer
Sneaking
Rick.
around back there.
Like you said before, right before we went live, you were like, Trailer Rick, you might have a problem behind your right shoulder there.
I think there's
Why is his he's frozen now.
Frozen.
You're frozen, Trailer Rick. You got to jump off and jump back on. I'm going to
That
kick
is-
him off and have him jump back on. We just had him on beforehand. He's been on for an hour.
I know. He
In
got
the
bored-
backstage.
He got bored of us, man. He got bored of
Yeah.
us and bailed.
I remember one time on the Arkansas River, Kevin, it was like a critical tournament, and Van Dam rolls up to, like, someone had messed with his trailer, like not another angler, I think like a local or something like that. And he rolls up on all rims, dumps his boat in, and goes fishing.
Good for him.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's savage.
Hey, we got Trailer Rick.
I'm back.
You're back. Yeah. Frank pointed this out, and we didn't know. Just to the my right of the turkey tails there is something fairly dangerous, Trailer Rick. That appears to be a
It's a
bald hornet nest.
Which I have done many a battle with.
Recently.
Yeah, recently. You know, bald-faced hornets have facial recognition.
What?
Yeah,
No.
yes, they do. They can recognize the face of an intruder. And if you've disturbed the nest and you come back, they will literally go out and get you.
Nice to know.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Have
They
you-
have the ability to recognize and remember human faces.
Yep.
They process the face based on how hostile it is. They
So
remembers a person's face as a pattern or shape similar to how humans do, but without the fine detail resolution. And they can remember the location of nest food scopes and faces of individuals who have disturbed them, which helps them coordinate defensive swarms when the threat returns.
Yeah, dude, I'm not kidding. I had a bald-faced hornet nest on my house, a little bit bigger than the one behind Rick, and I went out in the front yard and I hammered it with hornet spray, which was pretty dumb. And they all came out and I ran away, and I couldn't go back near it because every time I get near it, they would start coming out again. And so what I did was I had a window, a small window below the nest. And so I cracked open the small window and put my arm with the can out of it, and I squirted up into the nest and saturated it from the window, and they didn't know where I was coming from because I was behind a shade. They didn't know where I was coming from. Once I got it saturated and they were pretty much eradicated, I got a garden hose with a power washer on it, and I imploded the nest.
All I know is I'm wearing a face mask, like a Jason face mask next time I've got to take the wasps out of the eaves of the house so they don't recognize me.
Yeah, but those aren't bald-faced hornets.
Yeah,
Those are carpenter bees, which drill a perfectly round 3/8 inch hole, by the way.
a number of wasps can do the same thing too.
That's wild.
Yeah, one of my worst memories as a kid, just right over the hill here at my grandparents' house, me and my grandmother, who always took me fishing, we were walking to the pond fishing and stepped on a whole nest of those ground hornets.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yellow
Oh.
jackets.
And I was, 8 or 9, maybe. I was just, 20 or 30 bites all over me, off to the hospital. God, that was miserable.
Did you become allergic after that or no?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm not.
Stayed
either.
away from them.
Well, yeah.
My
We
dad's
should've-
been to the ER with that because he thought it was a mole hill in the backyard,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was
Oh.
a yellow jacket nest, and he had jeans on. So he goes to tamp it down.
And they
His
went
foot
up his
breaks
jeans.
through into the nest, and they all go up his jeans, and he got stung
Oh.
30 or 40 times. By the time he got in, got his jeans off, had to go to the ER. I mean, he's fine now. Like, he wasn't deathly allergic, but it was enough to where everything swelled up crazy. I wasn't home. I was just back in college when it happened, but I vividly remember.
Yeah, I'm not allergic either. If I get stung, it's like, meh, whatever. Hurts like hell. I cut a bald-faced hornet nest trimming the bushes. It was in the bushes. I didn't know it was in there. And I was trimming around the bush, and I couldn't get on top. So I got a step ladder, climbed up on the step ladder, and I was literally laying on top of the bush, reaching as far as I can to clip the top of the bushes. My shirt was untucked, and I clipped it, and all of a sudden I felt stuff inside my shirt. And I thought at first it was just the little leaves and branches that I was trimming. And then I got lit up, dude. I got like 4 or 5 on my chest, and I got 6 or 7 on my back. And I will tell you, they hurt bad. Like, it hurt. Like, I felt like I was being shot, to be honest with you.
Have either of you been on the water and you've heard this, like, where you I've had this happen one time where it sounds like a drone, but it's like a moving colony of bees?
No.
You've never, and then I've also heard of the horror stories of where you're out in the middle of the lake and they are like, oh, this is the only place we can land. So then they land on your boat, all 50,000 of them. But I've heard as they fly over, you can actually hear, like, you look up, it's literally like a swarm of bees.
That happened about 3 years ago at the Catfish Owners Catfish Tournament there in Decatur. This guy rolls in. He's got pictures. His engine is completely covered in bees, 2 and 3 layers thick. It's his bimini top. It was crazy.
That's wild, man. And they didn't blow off when he was running back?
No.
And they didn't bite him either?
No.
Or sting him?
No, they were just chilling.
Wow.
I'll have to pull up them pictures. They're out there somewhere.
For those who are wondering why Trailer Rick is known as Trailer Rick and not just Rick.
Well, it's trailer trash, Rick, in some parts of the world. So.
You are you the president? Is that your title?
I'm the sales guy.
President, sales guy. I mean,
Sales, marketing.
Marine Master Trailers.
Yeah.
And you've been
everything.
doing this for decades.
15 years here.
That's close enough. Decade and a half.
Yeah. Spent some time at Triton before that.
So you're
main office
familiar.
there at Triton.
Right. So you're familiar with a trailer or two.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, what are some tips, things, I mean, you've seen trailer nightmare stories. You talk with it,
gosh,
you
yeah.
deal with it. Just run us through, as someone who does boat trailers and trailers for a living, what's important for peace of mind.
Maintenance, you got to look at it.
Does not matter who builds the trailer, how good
Doesn't
it is,
matter.
or what it is. A trailer needs maintenance.
You know, most of the boat companies, trailer companies out there, there's only about 3 different axle companies out there. Those 3 companies are probably getting all their parts from the same folks. So it's just
Gotcha.
all a matter of, you know, who installs them. Made by human hands are not all perfect, obviously.
So what do you think one of the biggest mistakes people make when they get a new boat and trailer?
Or a used boat and trailer.
They change their oil in their motor. They keep their depth finder covers, you know, on. They meticulous. They change the bilge pumps. The trailer is an afterthought. They never think about it until something goes wrong.
And then if something goes wrong, and
it's usually catastrophic at that moment.
Right. And then they often find themselves uninsured or not with proper.
Oh yeah, the whole insurance deal is crazy. It's crossed my desk a bunch here recently.
What's your recommendation when you're insuring a trailer? Not a brand of insurance.
No. There's no good insurance.
Oh, there goes our ear.
That's a license. Don't get me started. That's a license to steal, is what that is.
There goes our Erie insurance sponsorship.
Yeah,
that's not
progressive
happening.
out the window.
Yeah,
Flo is livid.
I would, you know, if you've got a newer rig, say your new Bass Cat there, 18-inch wheels, fiberglass fenders.
Yep. Shiny as hell. Shiniest fiberglass trailer I've ever had.
It's pimped up. Phoenix, Falcon, Cayman. I mean, they all make them. In today's market, of course, we all knew what went on during the COVID. Everything exploded in price. That trailer right now is probably a $8,000 to $12,000 trailer. You know.
Wow.
So if you insure it for $4,000, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah. This couple I'm dealing with out in Missouri right now on a Sea Ark, it's a 26-foot boat. You know, it's a big pimped up trailer with the 18-inch wheels and amp package is what they call it. Same deal. You know, he had $4,500 worth of coverage on his trailer. To replace it's going to be $11,000-$12,000. You know.
Yeah, and see, and the part of the problem is a lot of the insurance companies don't really know the value of the trailer.
And what they'll do is they'll just Google, 20-foot boat trailer. Oh, here's one for $1,500. You know,
right, and that's the problem. And then the other thing too is like the bass boats come in, and the bass boat is a solid price. You've got the price for the boat, motor, and trailer.
Yeah, it's a package, and you really need to get with your dealer when you're buying a new one, because they will give an honest breakdown if you ask them. I need a boat, motor, and trailer. And I mean, for years it was a $50,000 rig. We'll split it half and put 5 on a trailer. You know.
Right. That's what they did.
Yeah. And it just doesn't work anymore. What's a new engine now? $25,000 or more?
Yeah.
More. Yeah. And now we got more than that in depth finders. So.
Well, yeah, Jews. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. I underinsured my boat, and I was looking at my insurance, and I'm like, why do I only have $1,500 for locators when I've clearly got
that's a transducer.
3 locators that are worth more than that. You know, one of them's worth twice that, 3 times that. And so I had to redo it all. And then, like an idiot, I didn't look at what they put on my trailer, which I'm going to, after today's show, I'm going to go back and see how much insurance I got on that trailer, because that could be problematic.
Yeah. And another factor nobody thinks about is, okay, let's say you're in Shawnee, Oklahoma, you know.
I am.
Yeah, let's say the trailer is one of ours.
Mhm.
Okay, and you crash it, you know, it's totaled. Okay, the boat was delivered with the trailer, so freight was included. Now you've got 600 miles of freight on a single trailer, you know, at $2 a mile.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That nobody, I didn't think of that either.
So now,
That's crazy.
so what happens if you're at Clear Lake?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not going to be cheaper to flatbed the boat.
Or Walla Walla, Washington, or just factors that nobody ever thinks of.
Is it, do you guys, like, let's say you've got an older boat, you got it used, what you don't have, you know, whatever, like, is that something that you guys do? Like, you have a guy who's like, hey, I've got a whatever, can I buy a trailer?
Yeah, that's what we did to Frank's. We didn't have we didn't have the fit on that Legend. He carried it down. We went through our engineering, and now we have it in our database. But we got a lot of bass boats.
Yeah, because I would imagine if you need like a new trailer tire for like a Champion or something that's out of production or the boat isn't made anymore, that's got to be hard to find.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
Champions, old Rangers are probably, I don't have many Ranger fits at all. Have very few Skeeters. But if it's a Triton, Phoenix, Falcon, Blazer, Camus,
you got it.
Got it.
Rick's been sending
Stratuses, all the old Stratuses. I do a ton of old Stratus stuff. Because them boats are still good shape boats. They were good boats.
Oh yeah.
This is all just us talking. This is not like official advice that we're offering. This is just based on experiences and a rich history of what to do. So this is not like legal advice whatsoever.
No. What I would do
well, one second, just for the iTunes viewers or listeners here. Dougie Fresh said, do you just call your insurance company and talk to them about adding your trailer and electronics?
Yeah. So the best thing to do is you call your insurance guy up, and you talk about your trailer and your electronics, because sometimes some of it will jump over to your homeowner's insurance. So you have to talk to your agent so you do the right thing. So when you make the claim, it's covered. That's the biggest thing. And the prices will fluctuate, predicated on your insurance carrier and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. That's the best way to do it. And you could, you know, you're not going to be able on an older trailer to claim it's worth umpteen $1,000.
No.
Because they're going to have a depreciated value of that particular trailer, but you could insure it for complete loss. So, but you'll have to talk to your agent about that, because everybody's a little bit different.
Plus, I would just go to your local dealer
and see how much.
Yeah, how much? You know, what's it going to cost to replace this trailer?
Rick, something that I have done, I'm kind of proud of it. So I had I had the old ZX190, right? That I had 65-pound braid holding the bunks on until that's a true story. And then both of the top ones started, it was completely dry rotted. There's no way that when you have a boat in and out of the water, regardless of what you're doing with the marine carpeting and the treated lumber and all that stuff, like how often would you recommend, if you're in a boat and have been in a boat, like really checking out the bunks and replacing those bunks on your trailer?
I would, depends on how much you dunk it in the water.
That's just
every couple of years I would look at them, and I would look at them every year on an aluminum boat, because an aluminum boat, you cannot use treated wood. It's just got to be some regular old 2x4s.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah. It's the chemical that they use in the treatment will oxidize the aluminum and eat a hole in it.
I have seen multiple times in tournaments where guys back their boats off and there's just a bunk floating
Yeah, bunk
right
floats
around
off.
the lawn.
Seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I mean, I did that.
Aluminum
Like I
and
went and got
pontoons
it.
are the same way. Pontoons are not
Got the length, measured the length, got the wood, ordered the carpeting for it, stapled it, put them on there, screwed it in, and was like, oh my God, this is so much easier than is this the time it's going to go through the hole.
Well, Frankie and I did my old trailer. We did all the bunks.
Yeah.
I got the treated lumber, and what I wound up doing was I got 2x10s and then cut them a little wider than the regular bunks were because I wanted them wider. Measured them underneath the boat to see how wide I can make them, and then we cut them. It was in the winter time. We cut them, and then I glued them, glued them, and stapled the carpet on them. And then in the spring, Frankie and I went to this local lake, dumped the boat in, tore the bunks off, and rewired the trailer and put the new bunks on. Except that when I got my trailer to Rick, he's like, how did you get it here? I'm like, I drove it, man. He's like, you're lucky. And then they put it up on 55-gallon drums. So when I came to get my, trailer, get a better look at it. Dude, I was horrified I don't even know how it held together. Like they didn't even know how it
put your finger through it.
Everywhere. Matt, everywhere. It was
I remember that.
unbelievable.
You got a brittle trailer.
Oh, I was horrified. I'm like, oh my God. And I drove down to Tennessee like I was running a race, man. You know what I mean?
Ice.
In the snowstorm.
Yeah.
When I got down there, realized you guys know absolutely nothing about snow removal.
They don't down there at all. No.
Alex, as I said, load-bearing rust. I'll tell you what, there's nothing that will make you just tow a trailer through anything than after you suck in a tournament and have a 3-hour drive home.
Oh, you don't care.
You've been gone for a week.
Yeah, you don't care.
You just go.
You're going. Your trailer's hitting bombs bouncing off the road. Boom, boom.
Yeah, and I mean, boat trailers have gotten a lot better recently too.
Oh yeah,
haven't they, Rick?
God, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's you look at an older boat and how
is...
basic they are, and you have a lot, but you also have more things that can go wrong as you add brakes and all sorts of stuff into it. But you don't hear all the old timers have the trailer stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Well, speaking of Alex, what a dude, you know.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
He's
The first trailer Watchdog I saw was go back to the CR Catfish Owners Tournament was on Alex Nagy, another Alex who runs the Twisted Catfish circuit. It just, it just looked different. It had a little box up there under his bow. I was going, what's that? And like everybody else, when you tell him the first time, he was explaining it to me, and I'm going, well, what can it actually measure? Monitor. Because that's the first thing I go, well, what else can I? He got to explain it to me, and I went, oh, well, that's pretty dang cool. One thing led to another, and I started talking to Alex, Watchdog Alex. Then we just got to talking, going to try to sell a few for him. Then Alex gives me a call. It's like 8:45 one night. And he was just taking the family to Florida. And he went, man, he said, this Watchdog thing went off. And I've got a hub that's a little hotter than the rest of them. What do I do when I get pulled over? Well, pull over and see it. Sure enough, he had a rear seal leaking. But had he not had that, he would have never knew.
He would have kept
all
going.
All the grease would have come out,
and
he would have overheated. It would have, it would have been catastrophic.
Oh yeah.
But man. we got him limped. He limped down, had a great vacation, come all the way back, squirt a little grease in it. He had the monitoring system where he could monitor it. Boom. No vacation ruined.
Here's a good question. When is it time to replace the tongue of your trailer that activates the brakes when you stop?
That would be the actuator. The part that slides.
Yeah. Yes.
There's not much that can go wrong there. I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
piston
but
underneath there.
What
But
makes it clunk after?
No fluid.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's on me then.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Chunk, 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 chunk.
Okay.
So if you fill it with fluid and it's still doing it, the actual.
Then you got a leak somewhere.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anything else before we wrap this up? We're an hour and 40 minutes into
Wow.
a maintenance show.
Just,
longest show.
Yeah, just the last thing. In talking to Alex, he said, "Won't you?" He said, "Here, I'll just send you a unit, to put on your own boat." That would be useless. We put 0 miles on. We might go to Gunnersville every now and then, or Nickajack or whatever, but most of the time we're fishing 10 minutes from the storage building.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex sent it, and we put it on Bradley Roy's rig last fall.
BPT.
Yeah, and
He put miles.
he has not. Yeah, I mean, he's probably got what 30,000 miles.
Every bit.
Yeah,
Every bit. Yeah.
So he has not had an issue, but what was his exact word? He said, "I'm all about it." So,
Yeah. That's all you could say,
yeah,
dude.
he said, "I'm all about it."
That's all you could say. I mean, when I put it on mine, I can't trailer without turning it on.
Yeah. Bradley's same way.
It's such a peace of mind. I mean, I'm ripping down the road. I got everything monitored. I know every little tiny, and it's so dumb because if you pick a nail up and you have a slow air leak, you'll have your monitor go off, and then you can get off and plug the tire before you blow the tire. I mean, that's as minimal as it gets. You know what I mean? It's still like you could see stuff real time. So there's no guessing anymore. No jumping from mirror to mirror the whole time you're towing. You're looking out the rear view. You're looking out the side mirrors. Every time you feel a funny vibration, I'm always mirror to mirror looking and pulling over in most cases, is because I don't want to make a mistake. But now it's right there. I mean, it's right in front of your face. It's good.
Question that popped up: Tullahoma, Tennessee is where the plant's located.
Tullahoma.
Tullahoma.
You do a lot of catfish stuff. You're always sending pictures of gargantuan catfish and catfish rigs that make bass rigs look like bass trackers from 1988.
Yeah, I know.
Live scopes and units and mapping on the back and the front, the sides, and trays and tables and plates
crazy.
and monitoring systems and lights. And I had no idea until you kind of introduced me to the wild world of high-end catfishing. And then I got online and have watched some of these things on YouTube. There's a number of guys who fish the top trails. I'm sure you know them, who have big YouTube channels and stuff like. Dude, it is way more complex and way more money in it than I realized.
Yeah,
it's not throwing a chicken liver out on the bottom like we used to.
No.
They're
you got
a lot of drifting and moving, a lot of map
bait.
study.
Bait is their biggest thing. If they catch the bait, they'll catch the fish.
Yeah, it's wild. I've caught some hellacious catfish on big crankbaits and Carolina rigs.
Yeah.
Monster cats, dude. Not like them 45, 50 pounders you send me pictures of, but pretty dang good ones.
Most of those guys, I mean, that's all catch and release.
Yeah.
Which is wild because, man, there's a lot of good flathead and blue cat belly.
Yeah.
And nuggets and meat stuff that goes through there. It would be tough for me. If I'm in a position where I've got the cleaning table and a knife, I've never done that with a big flathead, only one time before. Every time I catch a big flathead, I'm either not at home or it's like a really bad time for me to go home and butcher it.
Yeah.
And I love flathead meat. Oh,
you know what the catfish guys call bass, don't you?
Ditch pickles.
Bait.
Oh.
Bait.
Yeah, that's sacrilegious, man. How dare you come on this show and talk like that?
Yeah,
especially the ones that are full of eggs. It's like a cream-filled donut.
Yeah.
They snag them off the beds and then drift them down the river.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I got put. Yeah, we just Marine Master started sponsoring some of the catfish tournaments, Twisted Cat and Sea Arc, and give them a follow. Twisted Cat Tournament Trail. I mean, there's a tournament just about every 3 or 4 weeks that's going to pay 30, 50 grand to win.
Oh, they catch some monsters. I caught a big flathead on a reservoir here that I didn't know had flatheads in them. And I was with Josh, and he's like, "We got to take that home and eat it." And I said, "Yeah, it's a flathead. We'll do that." And I brought it home and carved it up and ate it. And it was I must have done it wrong because I didn't like it.
Did you cut the tail and bleed it
No.
and hang it?
No.
Did you soak it in buttermilk or salt water beforehand?
No.
Yeah, you didn't do it right.
Yeah, I didn't do it right. I'm just telling you. Because
every time he says twisted cat, it just makes me think of like a malt beverage from the
Sounds
7-Eleven
like
that you get in the brown paper bag. Like you see old Jim, he drank 3 twisted cats.
Yeah, exactly.
And
with
then
a
we
straw.
had to scrape them off of the cement.
With a straw.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, boys and girls.
Yeah. All right, Rick. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Shout out
Peace
to you
out,
later.
my friend. Yeah, I will.
Hey, I get this shoulder done. We're going fishing.
You better
Yeah.
get your butt up here. Or I'll get down there.
I need to pick Matt Spring too, because we got 2 new Garmins on the boat.
Well, he's the one you got to talk to.
Depends on what level of talking it is.
How do you
I
turn
top
it on?
Got
that figured.
I could confidently answer that one.
Now we
if
put
not,
a
I'll be like, let me look into that and get back, and then I'll call Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, see you, Rick.
See you, buddy.
I'll see you, bud.
All right, there you go.
It's a long show today.
That was a very long show today. What would your strategy be? Champlain 1.5 foot low, no live scope, middle of August.
There's 2 strategies, but I don't chase largemouth on Champlain. I find largemouth where I'm catching smallmouth. That's how I catch them there. I would be offshore fishing my traditional stuff and loving life, because I know nobody's going to go out in the middle and start scoping 4-pounders on me. And then I'd come in with my 22 pounds and take care of business. Because live scope changed Champlain a lot.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, it changed. The days of coming in with 18 to 22 pounds and knocking it out are over on that lake.
Wild part is it's looking, well, it's already 11 o'clock there. It's looking like 18 is going to be really strong in this for the day, because right now Gussie's leading as of 11:15. He says he's got 17.9. And the top 10, like Chris Johnson, has 16.5. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's like I said, that's no scope. So,
yeah, I mean, every tournament that I've done well there on, I was generally between 18 and 22 pounds a day there with no scope. And I think that's pretty much where it's going to lay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to have those big averages like with scope.
And the wild thing though also is how much the scope has changed the traditional fish. So a rock pile that you could go to and drop shot, drag a tube on, throw a crankbait or a jig over, like those fish aren't sitting on it anymore, because last week, the week before that, someone just scoped them off it, and they've been doing it the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. So it's an interesting deal. I did notice, you know how I got my boat stuck?
Yeah.
I did notice Taku threw his boat up on that same exact flat and had his boat stuck there overnight, which made me feel like a little bit less of an idiot.
Yeah, well, he stuck it about 250 yards farther than you did.
He did. He stuck it quite a bit up there, but it made me feel good, because when I was there the week before for the Bass Nation, I literally called and said I must be the biggest idiot in the world to get my boat stuck on Champlain. And I said,
no, you're just lucky that's where you stuck it, because
yeah. Now, if I could just scope and use JDM baits like him, we would be cooking with gas.
Oh boy.
All right, that was a good show. Congratulations
to Champ Caldwell.
Yep.
That was a
Watchdog. He already shot the email, so I will get him in touch with
Alex. That's
and they can go
perfect.
from there.
Good deal, man.
Yep.
Good
Am I
deal. This was so we
around
managed
next week?
to
Yeah, I'm around
we
next
managed
week.
to worm some fishing in.
Yeah, absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
pun intended.
All right, we will do it again next Thursday. We were talking about doing a series of shows. Are we doing a series of shows? It would be maybe the end of August to kick off the series because we're here the 20th, the 27th. Well,
Yeah, I
what
gotta.
was the
I gotta.
series we were gonna do?
I don't remember. And
I
that.
called you and I was like, "Why don't you
Yeah.
had said it and stuff?" But I can't remember what the series was on because you've done the grass series, you've done the bait fish series, you've
I've
done
had-
the like rivers, natural lakes, and like impoundments, man-made impoundment series.
I've had notes. I write. My problem is I write notes like a madman. Okay.
So do I.
And they're all over. And the other day I got so sick and tired of I just started collecting stuff and throwing it out. And I think I threw the notes out, man.
Oh, that's fine. We cannot end this show because you started to tell this story this morning while I was making my coffee.
Oh my. So we were we were talking about mishaps on the road.
Yes.
Right?
And you got just enough in to where I said, I don't want to know the rest of it.
Yes, you did. You said, no, save it.
I've got
for the
another
show.
binder with that. I might go see if that's it while you do it. Start this story. We're going to end this show.
This is
with
probably,
this I'll be right back.
All right. This is probably one of the absolute best non-fishing stories I have. It tells a little bit about my personality, and naivete, whatever, however the heck you want to say it. So I was going to my dad's house one day, and I'm driving down the road, and I'm in my Trans Am, and I'm going to my dad's house. And back then I hunted a ton. I hunted all the time, actually. And I'm driving to my dad's house, and there's a lady in front of me in her car, and we're going down the street. And it's not a true 2-laner. It's like a lane and a half. And this big fox squirrel runs across the street and bounces off her hubcap, flops around in the road. And so it's laying there. So without missing a beat, I slow down. I get on the side of the squirrel. I open my driver's side door. I reach down. She didn't run it over. It was totally intact. It was perfect. I just opened my driver's side door, reached down, grabbed the squirrel, threw him on the floor in the passenger, on the passenger side of my car, close the door, and I keep going to my dad's house. I'm like, cool, I got a squirrel. I'll get to my dad's house, I'll clean it up, and I'll eat the thing. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden I look down and I see that thing goes, and it's sitting there staring at me, sitting down on the floor of the passenger seat, staring at me. And I'm like, oh my God, it's not hurt. And so all of a sudden it takes off, and it's running around the inside of my car. And I'm going like this, and I'm trying to get it and throw it back on the floor. And it gets on me. I throw it on the floor on the passenger side, and it disappears. So I'm like, okay, he's probably hiding under the seat. That's what I'm thinking. So I go to my dad's house, and I get out, I close the car door. I go in the garage. I get a pair of leather gloves. I open the passenger side door, and I look, and I see it underneath the seat. And I reached in there, and I grab them, and I'm pulling them out from underneath the seat. And I was going to clonk them in the head with a 2x4 and keep them. And I'm like, and I got them, and I got the 2x4 piece in my hand. I got them, and I'm looking at them, and I go, there's no way I could do this. I threw the 2x4 down, and I got the squirrel, and I went and I let him go. And then I hear a voice in the garage. It's my dad. He goes, "You big sissy." Just like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, I wasn't going to do that. The thing, it was too cold-blooded, man. I couldn't do it.
You thought it was already dead, and now that it was alive, it revived itself.
Right. And so, so I let it go. So listen to this crap. So like I was out with my buddies after that, and we were having some adult beverages, and I was telling them the story of this, and they're laughing their brains out, because it's a guy thing. They're laughing their brains out. Don't think nothing else about it. About a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I'm driving to work, and I got our local country station on, which is it's WGAR. It's a major country channel. Okay. It's, I forget the network that owns it, but anyway, the DJs come on, male, female DJ, they come on and they're talking, and the lady goes, I got the greatest story on earth for all you hunters out there. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm down for the story. So I'm cruising, and she starts telling the squirrel story. And I'm like, what are the chances this happens to two people? You know what I mean? What are the chances of this? Like, I'm completely befuddled by it was the exact story I just told you guys. The exact story. And so I'm like, no way. So I call one of my buddies up. I go, dude, were you listening to GAR today? He goes, yeah. I go, did you hear the squirrel story? And he starts laughing. He goes, yeah. He goes, I was out with her the other night, and I told her the story.
So your story made Cleveland radio.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And like an idiot of myself I'm thinking this happened to two people at the same time.
No, it was you.
Yeah, it was so dumb. But it was the funniest thing when that animal resurrected itself.
And it was like, when it ran away, did it like run away? Like, I mean, like, was it healthy? Like, it just stunned it?
Yeah, it just got stunned. And when I let it go, it didn't, like, when I let it go, it didn't just peel away.
Yeah.
It kind of like, got its wits about it and then just went on its merry way.
So this question has to be asked, Frank. Was this a common occurrence of you picking up fresh roadkill for the dinner table?
No, it was very uncommon. And like I told you, it was one of those things where she didn't run it over. It bounced off the side of her hubcap. And so I'm like, well, I just saw it happen. It's not like it was laying there for a week. I just saw it happen.
Yeah.
And so no different than if someone hit a deer and took it home. And so I'm like,
squirrel's a little different than a deer.
Well, but I mean, you know what? Wild game.
I understand 100%. That reminds me, have I told this one about my buddy Owen up in Alaska and his dad? Like, they're legit badasses, hunt, trap, fly in, run a lodge, the whole 9 yards. And they were trapping wolverine one winter. They're in the chopper, and they had their sets out, and they go out, and there's a wolverine in the trap, and they shoot it in the head. The thing's dead. They freaking, his dad, Danny, tosses it over his shoulder. He's holding the wolverine by the back legs as they're walking back to the helicopter. Owen's behind him, and he said, literally, all of a sudden, the wolverine just wakes up. Like, they're tough. They'd shot at the head, but it had like stunned it, hadn't like killed it, and it had been completely limp. And he said all of a sudden he's walking behind his dad, and he noticed that the wolverine's eyes were open, and he was moving his eyes. And he's like, Dad? Or he's got a wolverine like on his back over his shoulder, like,
yeah,
Santa Claus's toy sack.
Yeah, you don't want to delay when you tell your old man the thing's alive.
And this thing wakes up and is like, he said he just opened his eyes and started looking around. And Owen was like, okay, like, just let you know right now that thing just came back to life, and they had to drop it and shoot it again.
Good God. That would have tore him up, dude.
Yeah, you think?
They are bad to the bone.
You think?
Oh, yeah, that would have tore him up, man. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad we ended that story with that. All right, let's cue some music up here.
We have successfully wasted.
You have to bloviate for 19 more seconds. so we can say we did a 2-hour show.
Okay, we can do that. We can make that happen.
It'll probably be 2 hours by the time we end it. All right, this has been another edition of Day 4 with man Frank Scalish. Big shout out to Alex from Trailer Watchdog and also Trailer Rick
At Marine Masters.
For jumping on the show today. Same time, same place, next week. Oh, we can't end the show.
What show is it?
We can't end the show because I came across something on, hopefully you can hear the audio on this. I came across something on Instagram that literally had me giggling.
Uh-oh.
And it has to do with...
I don't even want to know.
It has to do with BTL Day 4.
Oh, no.
So this is this guy. He gives advice on Instagram. That's what he looks like. Just to get the picture, and we'll see if I can get the...
See everyone saying, oh, thank God it's Friday. Don't die like this. They have you trained. They've broken your spirit. There's no end of the week. Go on your calendar right now. Cross out every single Friday and write Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday mentality. That's what I believe. Oh, I'm starting to get used to this. 2 Thursdays a week. That's not so bad. Well, congratulations. You just won the award for a guy that actually has to turn it Wednesday into Thursday, too. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'm on Thursdays all week long. So you've hit 7 Thursdays a week. And I hate Thursday, but I love pressure.
Our next shirt has to be Thursday mentality.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear it?
Barely, but where do you find this stuff, dude?
Congratulations. Now you have 2 Thursdays a week. Guess what? You just became the guy who has to cross Wednesday out. Now it became a Thursday. Thursday. Every day's Thursday. And all I could think was, that'd be the greatest promo in the history
Of Day 4.
Day 4.
Oh my God. I don't even know how you find this stuff. I quit going down those rabbit holes on Instagram.
I did
It's
not.
so funny, man.
All right. We'll talk to everyone next week. See ya.
See ya.